Mrs. Green?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and the members of the board. I'd like to address some clarification of our public works department in a contract that is not clear to an alderman of the city of Bolton, and that is regarding to preparation for the stimulus monies that we receive and DOT's money. I need a clarification, and I've asked the public works of their department of how much it costs. And I'm in Ward 4, and they are using a practice of the mayor having to authorize what streets that needs to be fixed. And I would like a clarification of the law and rules that have been set aside by this board that only someone can make a claim or request public works is the mayor. And of course I have problems with that if that's such procedure or law that or rule that you all have established that makes the public works not be clear on giving such information. And I'd like to know how much the cost will be is to that particular municipality of the public works from the county. I'm just trying to get a clarification because of the fact of our budget and a preparation from the public works as to employment that needs to take place or our new budget that's coming up and the kinds of monies that are preparated for the city of Bolton. I'd also like to deal with, if I can get that, as a rule or law that is privileged to me as a voting and elected official as an alderman in Ward 4. I'd also like to deal with why I have not gotten, Mrs. Wood had submitted a letter to the legal department for a budget to be set aside in the absent or the recuser of the department of our legal for the county, and that is Ms. Sharon Stood. Ms. Sharon Flowers has recused herself from assault charge that is pending, and she has sent a letter to the legal department, and I'm just trying to find out why haven't it been clarified and been given a budget or so for a person to handle that case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And the other thing that I'd like to get a clarification on is a staff member having to do our minutes that is not a clerk of the city of Bolton, is not bonded, and that document is prepared for our invoice every 2 months. Is not accountability that the state of Mississippi is requiring us to keep as public records. And I just like for the Board of Supervisors and the staff to look into, to investigate why is a county employee having to do the work and the records for the town of Bolton as a volunteer. Also, I'd like to share with the board that I've had a problem as an elected official from Ward 4 at our board meeting, not a clarification, it's a chaos meeting, because of we are unable to get a budget set aside for employees to be able to read the water meters. The mayor reads the water meters. And as a result of that, on the day that the meter were read, I had a problem as I entered my home where wires were cut. Someone went into my house and cut the wires. I'm not saying that he did it, but it happened to take place on the day that the water meter was read, with the water flowers was thrown out of order, tried to be, was destroyed. And I'm just wanting to get a clarification as it flowed down from the Board of Supervisors through the pipeline of how we are able to get accountability of our records so that we are able to hire employees to read the water meters, to do the public works, all of that. It is a problem, and I was elected by the people, and I don't want government funds and the people's funds to be, I guess, duplicated. May I use that word? Duplicated. And so I just want to show you the lock that I had on my gate was broken and entered into, and I had to buy a new lock. My wires was cut, my telephone, I had to call a telephone company, and after they went and found the problem on the outside, I was unable to use my fax machine, and they came inside of my home, and this is what we found as to why and how I was unable to use my technology in my home. And I still have some problems. I want to contact the FBI on the problems that still exist in my home. And so I want to eliminate the problem that we have down through the pipeline of who is responsible for the different employment, different behavior. And I'm having a problem with the police department, being that the mayor, and when I attempt to ask questions, by it not being a clarification of our records and accountability, I'm having a problem with being approached with the policeman being ordered to take records from me. One of the employees and city councilmen snatched the documentation. So I just want us to clarify our records from down the county employees down to the city of Bolton, so that we can get a clarification and do what the county and the employees and the taxpayers are able to pay for us to do a professional administrative job for the city of Bolton. Thank you so much.
We have Mrs. Calhoun and then Mr. Fisher.
I have always respected you for being vocal and very outspoken, and I admire you for your courage to speak out when you think wrong is being done to you personally. However, a lot of the concerns that you have voiced are not within the authority of the Board of Supervisors. So my question to you is, what is the city of Bolton's policy on resurfacing streets? As far as the Board of Supervisors, the statute set forth our policy, and that is a majority vote from this board will determine what streets and roads are resurfaced. Regarding your second concern, concerning a staff person recording minutes, again, that would be a matter that probably you should consult with the state auditor's office to get the clarification that you're looking for in determining who shall record minutes for your board meetings. On your third concern regarding the water meters, again, I think that would be a matter that you can refer to our state auditor's office. All other matters of concern, it appears to me, should be addressed by law enforcement.
And I thank you so much. May I speak to her inquiry?
Yes, and then we'll go to Mr. Fisher.
I'm fine. I'm basically going to cover those
Okay.
Okay, well, go ahead, Ms. Green.
I have contacted the state auditor's office, and they said that the deputy clerk is to do the job. And the person that I'm speaking of isn't recording the minutes. They are keeping the finance report and submitting it through the mayor's office for finance. The other problem, I have contacted Mr. Felix, and he says that it is not to pave the street. It isn't paving the streets. It is fixing potholes. And so Mr. Felix's office has been the one that does that. My concern were that he was not clear on a documentation that has been written or rule. It's been a practice from the Board of Supervisors as to how much it is that fix potholes in the streets.
Okay, one of the things that, just 1 minute, Ms. Calhoun. One of the things that we will do is we will make sure that Mr. Felix clearly states to you or to the appropriate people the policy as it relates to what needs to be done as it relates to the county's ability to pave streets and repair potholes. Ms. Calhoun?
I do know that Mr. Felix schedules and refills potholes. Could you address Ms. Green's concern?
When me and Mr. Alderman Green talked, I informed her normally work request comes through the mayor. I informed her to let the mayor email me or send me a letter with the request. That's our normal policy for the small towns to have the mayor contact me.
What's in our contract? We have a contract with the city of Bolton.
I'm not familiar with the contract, but that's the policy.
We have an interlocal agreement to do that work.
Right.
So I would recommend that you refer to that interlocal agreement to see what the terms and conditions are.
Okay.
If those terms and conditions set forth that the mayor should provide you with those lists, with a list of streets to be resurfaced, then you are to abide by that policy. However, if the interlocal agreement says that you're to answer to all aldermen and aldermen women, then you are to abide by their request as well.
Okay. Is there anything else, Mrs. Green?
I thank you all so much for this opportunity and hope that we can solve the people's problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now go to a